Hi, it's Rock Musai. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russia's military attacks on Ukraine have destroyed people's homes and lives, claiming many lives, including those of innocent young children and women. Millions of people are now being forced to flee their motherland, literally completely against their will. There are not a few women giving birth while under attack in a horrible environment. The situation looks like a hell. Nay, it is nothing but hell. Who the hell could have the bullshit authority to transform their peaceful everyday lives into scenes from hell? Doesn't the conscience of Russian soldiers killing with guns and cannons vulnerable people without any means to resist bother them? Ukrainians and Russians belong to the same East Slavic ethnic group. What are Putin and his cronies, military officers and soldiers are thinking about their merciless and relentless bombing and missile attacks on their ethno-religious brethren? Russian political and military leaders are utterly insane. They are crazy. However, it is unrealistic to confront the reckless behavior of the lunatics by force, because that means the outbreak of World War III. It must be avoided by any means. Unfortunately, Russia is attacking Ukraine, fully aware that the West will not and cannot resort to counterattack. The first urgent task for Western countries filled with love and philanthropy is simply to work hard to mitigate the tragedy. It's about taking good care of refugees. In fact, Ukraine's neighbors are accepting a huge number of displaced people. However, the number is too large. This must not be the duty and responsibility that the neighboring countries should bear alone. It is a universal humanitarian responsibility and duty that countries around the world must share. Of course, Japan should be included in those countries. The Japanese government has so far not provided any concrete or proper response to the crisis. Prime Minister Kishida and other ministers do nothing but say, we are carefully analyzing the situation and considering possible countermeasures. How much time is it they need to come up with good ideas? It's extremely deplorable just seeing their attitude of lukewarmness. They don't understand this tense situation in a bit. They are simply watching from a vantage point. The fact that Japan is geographically distant from the battlefield and that they don't want to get involved in a complicated matter seems to discourage them from demonstrating their firm resolve to help those people faced with unreasonable adversity. I do wish they were intelligent enough and brave enough to show aggressive attempts to tackle with a crisis. As a Japanese citizen, I'm ashamed that they never show their willingness and ability to judge any global issues without watching out for the U.S., and that they lack a genuine neighborly love for people in a predicament. What Japan must be truly committed to now is provide food, clothing, and housing to those who've been driven to despair. At least 5% of the huge number of displaced people, or if estimating the number At 4 million, some 20,000 should be accepted. Prime Minister Kishida and other policymakers should recognize the urgency of the situation and send aircraft to the countries accepting and supporting Ukrainians fleeing their motherland. Pick up and bring them to Japan. They are going to have to fly back and forth between those countries and Japan for the evacuation project. If displaced people come to Japan, many Japanese people, I'm sure, will warmly accept them and provide them with relief supplies. We are all citizens of the planet Earth, right? When the Great East Japan earthquake occurred 11 years ago, Japanese people received tremendous support filled with love from all around the world. The Japanese have not forgotten it and never ever will. Japan's physical situation is extremely severe and needs to ensure sustainability. More and more Japanese are hard making ends meet. Still, just considering Ukrainians whose lives are highly at risk, Japanese people are lucky enough to say they don't have to be scared by possible missile attacks as yet. The Japanese government should not be wasting time apparently seriously talking gibberish among themselves in a tiny corner of the Far East. It is necessary for them to show through deeds, not words, that Japan is a member of the international community. Okay, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Take care.